Round 4 of the losers bracket. If they lose, they're out. It's A versus Wriothesley. A starts with an obstruct while Pangoro goes for Nightmare. Resisted Needle Arm off. Weavile is now toxiced by the Wo-Chien. That is huge. And the Zygarde comes in for Wriothesley as Weavile goes for Cut. Weavile switches over to Mega Pinsir to very much resist that Grass Pledge. Pinsir's only getting Clear Smog, which is super effective on the Wo-Chien. The Sacred Sword. Volbeat resists it and then switches over to Tapu Fini, who also resists the Sacred Sword. And then switches to Cleavor, who's not going to take damage from Nightmare, it's not asleep. Weavile comes back in. The Spatial Rend, the Sacred Sword there would have destroyed Weavile, but the Weavile is able to get it cut off before the Sacred Sword does come in and take out the Weavile. Wriothesley gets the first kill. Tapu Fini goes for Feather Dance, reducing the attack of the Pangoro, which would have locked them in, but the Whirlwind just switches it out anyway. Whiscash activates the Perish Body on Eldegoss, and then immediately switches, so now only Eldegoss has the Perish Song, as it sets up a Fairy Lock so it can't run away on the next turn. Oh, but Titan has the Perish Song and a Symbol, making its attacks lower even more if it gets another close combat off. Triple Axle. It's pretty good damage to this Titan, even though it's resisted. Liquidation doing damage. Titan's dead if it doesn't switch. It does not switch, but it gets the Surging Strike to take out the Cleavor, even after the berry. The Cleavor goes down and Titan goes down to the Perish Body. Pinsir comes in next, and so does Necrozma. And Pinsir goes for Perish Song. There's so much Perish going on for A. But Necrozma resets the stats that it set up itself. So many stat resets, so much Perish. They're both gonna die if they don't switch. Necrozma switches out into Zygarde, and Pinsir doesn't switch. And so it goes down to its own Perish Song. The Eldegoss is now also poisoned and has its speed lowered. The Ayapapa Berry heals it a bit. Doesn't do anything. Pangoro is doing a lot more damage to this Volbeat than the Volbeat's doing back to the Pangoro. And that Volbeat goes down. 2v5, it's not looking good for A. It doesn't do anything to a Tapu Fini, but it will miss the Eldegoss as it takes more poison damage. But the Hammer Arm comes in, doesn't quite take it out. The Perish Body is activated, and the Eldegoss goes down to the poison, while the Whiscash now has a Perish Body count. Langelo's attack again goes for a Hammer Arm, which isn't resisted this time, but it does go down to the Perish Body. But that Grass Pledge is super effective. It has a Wiki Berry to heal up a bit. The Zygarde starts setting up. The Dig did a decent bit of damage, but all the Toxic Threads kind of poison the Tapu Fini, and unless it can win in like 4 turns, it's going to go down. And the Grass Pledge does enough that the poison takes out the Tapu Fini, and Wriothesley advances to the next round, and A is eliminated from the tournament. Chongyun Vs Yaoyao in the losers final, round 4. The Muck comes in and gets Trick or Treated to add the Ghost type to its Poison Dark typing. It's very interesting. It's 3 types right now. Kalbik spamming Aqua Jet. It is choiced. Takes a heavy Iron Head from the Mew. Isn't doing that much with it. And the Mew takes out the Carbink with the Wood Hammer. Quavel comes in next. Magnet Bomb is resisted, and Quavel gets off a Flame Charge, boosting its speed. as the Quaquaval sets up Tailwind. This is the fastest Quaquaval I've ever seen. And Mew's not going for the good moves against it, and the Mew does go down to the Quaquaval. Eldegoss comes in next, as the Quaquaval switches out. Doing that much to the Moltres. Goes for Scald this turn though, doing a lot more damage. One more of those will take out the Moltres, and it does. Moltres goes down to the Dondozo and Chilling Neigh is activated, boosting its attack, but that attack is now gone after Silvally goes for Growl. As Eldegoss can't go for Hyperspace Fury, but now it's a normal type, meaning the Power Whip takes out the Eldegoss. Dondozo comes back in now. The Fire Lash hitting the Dondozo, lowering its defense. As the Quaquaval loses half its health to a Wake Up Slap. Sets up a Tailwind. Scald goes in, doesn't quite kill the Quaquaval. Quaquaval tries to set up another Tailwind as it goes down to a Sunsteel Strike. And the attack of the Dondozo goes up. Thundershock, thanks to Motor Drive, doesn't do any damage and raises the speed of the Alolan Muck as it goes for Pursuit, in case it was trying to switch Hitmonchan. Hit by a Psychic as it goes for another Thundershock, boosting the Muck's speed even further. It still outspeeds the Muck. No, it doesn't. First Impression doesn't do anything. The Muck is now also a Ghost type, as the Scratch comes off from the Muck, taking out the Hitmonchan. Origin Form Dialga has come in now, goes for Outrage and takes out the Darkrai. That is a powerful move. Doesn't quite kill the Dondozo this turn, and it gets confused. It tanks a Scald easily though, as the Electro Ball takes out the Dondozo. Zangoose is in now against the Ground type Silvally. The Shell Trap doesn't work on the Zangoose, as Silvally awakens the power of electricity. Zangoose uses Baton Pass to switch out to the Alolan Muck. The Alolan Muck's attack gets lowered, as the Silvally doesn't do anything, barely lives the Psychic, and tries to switch, but the Pursuit catches it, and it goes down. The Origin Form Dialga's the only one left for Yaoyao now. But it's got Giga Drain, so able to heal back up to full. Muck has speed, but it's not doing that much damage to the Dialga. The Outrage does half of the Muck's health. It heals a bit with Citrus Berry though, as it goes for another Psychic. Dialga locked into Outrage, doesn't quite take out the Muck, but it's still locked into Outrage and will take out the Muck this turn. It's just the Muck against the Origin Form Dialga, which is confused at the moment. Zangoose goes for High Jump Kick, it's super effective. Dialga still managing to Outrage, activates Weak Armor so the Zangoose will outspeed now, but it tries to set up a trap, which means that the Zangoose goes down and Yaoyao wins with the Outrage from the Origin Form Dialga. And the battle has begun, Diona Vs Neuvillette. Urshifu starts off with its Intrepid Sword, boosting its physical attack as it goes for a Dynamax Cannon onto the Honchkrow. Honchkrow lowers the special attack of the Urshifu with its Skittersmack twice. It's very good because it's only using special moves so far. Ice Fang, Honchkrow's doing a lot of damage to the Urshifu, it tries to gear up but fails. Ice Fang doesn't get the freeze, Urshifu fails, gear up again. Urshifu lives in one from the Ice Fang, gets off another Dynamax Cannon with its half special attack, but then goes down to an Origin Pulse from the Honchkrow. Cyclozar comes in and gets a Razor Leaf off, as it also takes the Skittersmack. Doesn't do anything, just raises the special attack of the Overquill even more. Overquill switches out with the boosts into Oricorio on the Icicle Sphere, which one-shots the Oricorio. Darkrai comes in next. Worry Seed fails, as Mawile sets up a Howl, boost its physical attack for the Icicle Spear, activating Weak Armor, which is just going to reduce the defense of the Darkrai every hit, making it take even more damage. And the Darkrai goes down. Chestnut comes in now onto the Nuzzle. It gets paralyzed as it goes for a submission, doing a little bit of damage. Not much. Takes more damage from its own sticky bar. The Shed Skin gets rid of the paralysis though. Makago comes in next on the submission, taking half its health and activating Perish Body. Chestnut is taking a lot of damage from Sticky Bar as it wastes a turn with Sleep Talk and goes down to a Confusion. Overcool comes in now, immune to the Psychic move, and it sets up Psychic Terrain and then switches out. But Makago dies to the its own Perish Body. Low kick sets up Telekinesis as Groudon goes for Strength Sap. Very good move from the Groudon. And then Groudon switches out into Overquill as the Brute Bonnet just keeps wasting her. Super effective Aeroblast coming out from the Overquill as it goes for Lunar Dance, fully healing the Mega Mawile, but taking itself out. And then Overquill misses a Razor Leaf and gets hit twice by an Icicle Sphere and switches out into Groudon, which is immune to the Nuzzle, as it goes for a Lava Plume. Super effective, lots of damage in the Mawile, but it's also weak to the Icicle Spear, which only hits twice this time, and Groudon does go for another Lava Plume, able to take out the Mega Mawile. Cyclizar comes in and switches into Honchkrow on the Flare Blitz, which takes out the Honchkrow. It's just the Overquill and the Groudon against the Cyclizar and the Low Kicks. And the Low Kicks takes a super effective Aeroblast from the Overquill. Doesn't quite kill the Overquill and goes down to another Aeroblast. It's just Cyclizar on 23%, but it heals as the Overquill sets up Psychic Terrain and switches to Groudon. Cyclizar goes for Flare Blitz, doesn't quite kill the Groudon, but it is able to kill the Groudon in the next turn. Cyclizar is in a very good position right now, lands the Razor Leaf but doesn't kill the Overquill, takes an Aeroblast, and it lands the next Razor Leaf, taking out Overquill, and Diona wins this match, knocking Neuvillette out of the tournament. Razor versus Layla. Layla sends in first with the Flygon, and then Razor sends in Claydol. The Claydol goes for the Glare, getting Flygon paralyzed despite being ground type. Vespiquen gets even faster as the Kyogre goes for Sparkling Aria, doing so much damage to the Vespiquen, doesn't quite take it out. Archeops sets up a Calm Mind, while Kyogre goes for Frost Breath, getting a critical hit, super effective hit on the Archeops. The Archeops just switches over to Vespiquen, sacks it off as the Sparkling Aria comes out. Koraidon comes in this time, while Kyogre switches over to Flygon. Best friendship, but gets a good Rock Blast, which Anger Point on the Rock Blast crit maxes the Altaria's attack. And the Houndstone switches out to Aggron on the Vice Grip. It takes a lot of damage despite being extremely defensive. The Vice Grip is protected. Flygon switches in now. The Altaria is Choice Band Vice Grip with +4 attack. It is going to be doing huge amounts of damage to whatever except that Houndstone. And for a Vice Grip, the Rock Blast is enough to take the Altaria down. Claydol comes in this time, gets the Glare on the Houndstone this time, as the Crunch is super effective onto the Claydol, but the Justified ability on Claydol boosts the attack. Kyogre comes in now. On the Hyperspace Hole, it is Stab, but doesn't do that much damage to Kyogre. Lurantis narrowly avoids a Frost Breath. The Frost Breath is very effective against the rest of Razor's team. That Sparkling Area will be super effective on the Claydol. Lurantis comes in, and no, sacks the Archeops on the Frost Breath. Fair enough. If this Kyogre does not go down, Layla has a very good chance of winning this. That Frost Breath, another crit, super effective hit. But the Stab Seed Bomb super effective hit from the Lurantis does take out that Kyogre. Koraidon's back in now against the Aggron. And Heatmore comes in now on the Dynamax cannon, takes a large chunk of health. Water Sport reduces the damage from fire type moves, but Pound isn't going to do anything. Strength is a decent chunk. Koraidon takes a super effective Psy Strike, but still above 50%. As the barrage misses. Can Koraidon do anything about it? If it hits, that Lurantis is gone. That Lurantis is out of here. One more Ice Ball will take out the Koraidon. Can the Koraidon do anything? No. But the Ice Ball misses! Koraidon has a chance now, not if it goes for Strength. Pyro Ball... Oh, gets the burn on the Koraidon! That puts a large timer on it, and I don't think the Koraidon's going to be able to recover from this. And it goes down to the burn, and Layla wins 4-0. Lisa versus Kaveh. Lisa sends in Probopass while Kaveh sends in Lunala. Quite effective on the Lunala. Probopass increases special attack as it tries to set up a Meteor Beam on the incoming Golem, and that Golem switches in. It's a Alolan Golem, so it doesn't tank the Meteor Beam, but it's able to get a Magma Storm off, and a few moves miss. Golem does go down to the Probopass. Darkrai comes in next. Oh, it gets a Mud Bomb off on the Probopass, 4 times super effective. Heat Wave comes back in, and Darkrai goes for another Mud Bomb, taking out the Probopass. Very important for Kaveh. That's crit Muck Punch on the Slacking. Super effective. Slacking switches out. And then Sork comes in on the ring out. The Muck Punch. Sork's at half HP now. But Sork gets a Sweet Kiss onto the Darkrai, confusing it and allowing it to hit himself. Sweet Kiss isn't going to work again though. Accelerock doesn't quite take it out, and the Mud Bomb misses from the Darkrai. Oh, but the Darkrai is able to get another ring out. It's got a lot less health now, so it doesn't do as much damage as before. And the Darkrai goes down to the Accelerock. Koraidon comes in now, lands a Triple Axle, and gets the 3 hits to take out the Sork. Slacking comes in next. Koraidon goes for a Silver Wind, doesn't get the boost. Slacking goes for Wish as the Triple Axle comes in. Gets it just over half HP. Punishment doesn't do anything, but the Slacking heals back up. Slacking without Trua is going to be very difficult to deal with. Steam Eruption doesn't get the burn. Slacking goes for Wish and then switches over to Talonflame. On the Steam Eruption, that Wish is going to be very helpful for the Talonflame. So Darkest Lariat with the reduced physical attack isn't doing that much damage. However, Giga Drain is going to do a lot more and heal it back up to full. It certainly tanks special moves, which Lunala might be trying to go for, but it's just going for After You, and it does live another Darkest Lariat. And the Slam comes in, critical hit, does over 50% of Blissey's health, but the Darkest Lariat does come out and take out the Lunala once and for all. Hitmonchan's taking a lot more damage from itself than it's actually taking. Grimmsnarl gets a Fire Fang onto the Slacking. Slacking switches back to Hitmonchan as Grimmsnarl sets up another Iron defense as the Hitmonchan goes down to Sticky Barb. Blissey appears and then immediately goes away, forcing the Koraidon out as Talonflame takes toxic damage. Koraidon goes for Healing Wish, taking itself out and healing up like 12% of the Golduck. Golduck goes for a Bubble Beam, super effective on the Talonflame, and then Talonflame goes down to the Toxic. Blissey comes back in, Grimmsnarl comes back in. Giga Drain does a little bit of damage, it doesn't have 2.5 times special attack this time though. Grimmsnarl's not able to do much to the Blissey, and the Blissey's not doing much to the Grimmsnarl. Nothing much is happening. The Fire Fang from the Grimmsnarl burns the Blissey. The Blissey is dead at the end of this turn, but it switches into Slacking instead. It's just spamming Wish, and no one can do enough damage to get it below half for it to be effective. Grimmsnarl gets burned, but its berry increases defenses, but it's not very helpful when it doesn't have anything left. Both Pokemon are going to go down to burn here. It's just a Sticky Barb Golduck against a full health healing Slacking. Golduck's not, unless Golduck can get the Sticky Barb off it, or Punishment? The Slacking might have taken the Sticky Barb, nope, Golduck goes down and Lisa wins. Childe versus Aether. Aether sends in Entei and Childe sends in Celebi to start. Entei misses the Inferno on the Celebi as the Celebi goes for cut. And then Entei goes for liquidation in the Celebi, being not very effective. Celebi is beating the Entei at the moment. The Hyper Beam comes out. Entei will have to recharge as the cross chop from the Celebi misses. Entei recharges and Celebi hits the Entei with a sniper shot, hitting it for super effective damage, but then switches into Bronzong to resist the cut. Entei lands another Hyper Beam, has to recharge. Volbeat hits it with the slash, and the Quash doesn't do anything. The Entei doesn't quite take out the Volbeat as it gets a critical hit boost and is able to hit the Entei, but the Volbeat switches out as the Entei recharges. The Tri-Attack does not affect the Sableye, and the Sableye is able to take out the Entei with Expanding Force. Lucario comes in, and the Metal Burst fails as the Sableye goes for Flatter, increasing Lucario's special attack and confusing it, but the Iron Head still does over half the Sableye, and the Precipice Blades is super effective on Lucario. Anchor Shot from Lucario takes out the Sableye. Volbeat comes in, and Lucario switches out to Umbreon. Quash does not work either time, and Sky Uppercut takes out the Volbeat. Spiritomb comes in now. Mesprit goes for a Blast Burn, it has to recharge now, and the Umbreon has the critical hit boost, and as it goes for Struggle and takes itself out. Umbreon is down. Bronzong lands a super effective U-turn on the Mesprit, activating the Berserk of the Mesprit, increasing their special attack, but the Mesprit switches out into Gorobus, and Bronzong's in now. Wanderoom is gone, Spiritomb's in, and Spiritomb is paralyzed from the glare from the Bronzong. Bronzong U-turns out, loses HP. Double Slap misses. Drill Peck, super effective on the Celebi, as the Cross Chop is 4 times effective on the Probopass. Stopping Tantrum is resisted by Celebi, and the Cross Chop takes out the Probopass. Aether's on 3, Childe's on 4. And the Lucario uses Iron Head taking out the Celebi. 3 on 3. Lucario's Simple Beam fails as the Dragon Pulse comes out from the Gorobus, being resisted. Simple Beam fails again as Gorobus' ability is True On. Anchor Shot. Dragon Pulse takes out the Lucario. Aether's only got 2 left. On the Eerie Impulse, lowering the special attack of the Mesprit. Blast Burn doesn't do as much as it would have, and now Mesprit has to recharge. Dazzling Gleam does a chunk of damage. Double hit misses, very unfortunate. Bronzong comes in now. Shell Sidearm does not affect the Bronzong, but Blast Burn does, thanks to the special attack. The Bronzong does live though, and is able to take out the Mesprit. Takes a bit of Life Orb damage and switches into Granbull. Gorobus goes for a Dragon Pulse, which does not affect the Granbull, as Gorobus loses special attack. Double hit comes out now, does a bit of damage to the Gorobus. Poison Tail from the Gorobus, super effective on the Granbull. Granbull misses the double hit. Gorobus is True On. Dazzling Gleam does a chunk of damage to the Gorobus. Poison Tail, super effective again, doesn't get the poison though. Granbull's still got a chance against this Spiritomb. Granbull will outspeed and Dazzling Gleam will be super effective, but it switches to Bronzong as the Spiritomb gets paralyzed. U-turn, Bronzong's going to take a bit of damage there, switches over to Granbull. On the Frenzy Plant, the Granbull is down! Bronzong's going to take Life Orb damage and go down next time it gets a hit off. But Bronzong's avoiding getting an actual hit off while the Spiritomb just stays paralyzed. The U-turn, all Bronzong lives on 2%, but the Frenzy Plant's enough to take out the Bronzong, and Childe wins 1-0. Nilou versus Ayaka. Ayaka sends in Hoopa while Nilou sends in Overquill. Wouldn't have affected the Overquill anyway though. The Boom Burst from the Hoopa does so much damage to the Pachirisu, and then Pachirisu just takes itself out with Healing Wish. And just going for Triple Axle, doesn't do that much damage. Did a little bit more because it got the 3rd hit this time, but it will go down to a Facade. Ayaka has the advantage right. Oh, but Ferrothorn comes in, gets the advantage from Healing Wish. Hooper switches out, Regieleki takes a bit of damage from his Surf, but the Regieleki has a sticky barb, so it's going to be taking a bit of damage unless it can get rid of it. Regieleki's taking more damage. Increases the Honchkro's special attack, but it does confuse it. Honchkro's able to get off the trump card, and the Regieleki goes down to the sticky barb. Hooper comes back in, and the Sandslash immediately misses a Fury Swipes, while 1000 Waves comes in and hits Sandslash, doing super effective damage. Discharge lands on the Fortress and gets the Paralysis, while the Mudslap, super effective, drops the accuracy again. Sandslash taking burn damage, hits the Fury Swipes and does absolutely nothing even with the defense drop. Sandslash's accuracy lowered even more from another super effective Mudslap. Discharge hits, and Mudslap takes out the Sandslash. Koraidon comes in now. Overquill's sent in. Can't do anything with Venom Drench, but high horsepower is super effective, over half of Overquill's health. And it goes for a Play Rough, which doesn't quite take out the Overquill yet. So Overquill is able to do another chip away before going down to high horsepower. Honchkrow comes back in now, and Koraidon switches into Lilligant. Well, the Honchkrow goes to Final Gambit. Doesn't quite take out the Lilligant, but takes out itself. The Fortress is able to finish off the Lilligant with a multi-attack, but takes damage from the Japoka Berry it was holding. Darkest Lariat from the Ferrothorn takes out the Hooper, 4 times super effective, and is able to get a Resist Surf onto the Koraidon. Oh, but the Revenge does so much damage to Ferrothorn. It has the Citrus to heal up a bit, and the Koraidon switches out into Hariyama. Fortress comes back in. Darkest Lariat doesn't quite take out the Fortress, but the Fortress gets paralyzed. It's able to get off an extreme speed before going down to a Darkest Lariat from the Hariyama. Ferrothorn comes in, doesn't have much health left. Extreme speed's not doing that much, but it did quite a bit, and the Rock Slide misses. Oh, Hariyama switches over to Koraidon on the Surf, doesn't do much damage at all. And High Horsepower finishes off the Ferrothorn, and Ayaka wins. Baizhu vs Xiao. Baizhu sends in Wugtrio and Xiao sends in Infernape. Wugtrio goes for the Wrap immediately, while the Infernape lands a high jump kick and one-shots the Wugtrio. And it's even lower. Squawkabilly likes hitting Metal Sound. The Constrict really doesn't do anything, and Squawkabilly goes down to the Foul Play. Iron Hands comes in now. Infernape comes back in on the Scary Face, losing speed. Pinsir's Quick Draw allows it to land a Spirit Break, lowering the special attack of the Infernape. Gravity goes down, Extreme Speed takes out the Infernape. Solrock comes in now, lands a Force Palm on the Pinsir, not doing much, as the Feint Attack does almost 50% of Solrock's health. Extreme Speed does a bit of damage. Solrock, Solar Blade, it's gonna just be able to get, oh it won't because of the Extreme Speed. Solrock goes down before the Solar Blade can go off. Guzzlord comes in now, it's 4-4. Leech Seed onto the Guzzlord, so the Guzzlord will be taking chip damage while Zekrom can heal a lot. But then Zekrom switches over to Pinsir on the Revelation Dance. Well, the Pinsir is able to get like so much of its health back from the Leech Seed, and then Extreme Speed takes out the Guzzlord. Brute Bonnet comes in now, but no, it's actually Mantine. On the Spirit Break, good switch out, lowering the special attack of the Pinsir in the process. Quick Draw, Spirit Break on the Mantine, it's going to get its special attack lowered again, as Mantine just heals. Or Mantine goes for the Focus Punch, but Pinsir goes for an Extreme Speed, not allowing it to get the Focus Punch off. Spirit Break keeps lowering the special attack of the Pinsir. The Foul Play does a lot to the Pinsir, and the Feint Attack makes the Mantine lose focus on the Focus Punch. Mickleberry from the Mantine. However, the Mantine just goes down to another Spirit Break. Brute Bonnet comes back in, Quick Draw from the Pinsir, but the switch out into the Reverum, the Rough Skin Reverum. Spirit Break's not going to do much. This Reverum's a very good matchup against this Pinsir. Brute Bonnet comes back in though on the Spirit Break, loses 50% of its health and lowers the special attack. Pinsir's Quick Draw again allows it to not quite take out the Brute Bonnet, but the Brute Bonnet only goes for a Nasty Plot, getting a special attack back and then just switching. But the Extreme Speed into the Reverum will take out the Pinsir due to Rough Skin. Camerupt comes in now. And gets its attack lowered from the Brute Bonnet. The Power Gem does finally take out the Brute Bonnet though. It's just the Reverum against the rest of Baizhu's team. Can Xiao survive? Reverum heals a very slight amount with the Leech Seed, but the Whirlpool onto the Reverum does a bit of chip. The Reverum doesn't take out the Iron Hands, so it takes a lot more Whirlpool damage before the Iron Hand is able to go down. Does the Whirlpool expire? The Whirlpool doesn't seem to expire and the Leech Seed gets set off, which means the Reverum goes down and Baizhu wins 2-0.